All right, so in this video, we're going to take a look at some of the basic navigation of the Adapt platform and talk about building your first course. So once you log into Adapt, you'll be brought to the My Courses screen. If your account currently has any courses that are already associated with it, you will see them listed right here. Otherwise, if you have a brand new account, you'll have to go ahead and create your first course. I'll also point out that in addition to the My Courses area, you can navigate some other parts of the platform by going up to the dashboard in the upper right corner. One section that I will highlight in particular is the My Questions section. This is where you can go through all of the questions that you have built in the Adapt platform. And the thing to keep in mind here is that much in the same way, different platforms will have quiz questions associated with question banks. You can kind of think of the same thing in Adapt. You have questions that live inside of folders. Now, when you build a quiz in Adapt, the quiz will pull from whatever questions you've created and populate the quiz, but the questions still live in their own respective folders. And so you can certainly look at the different questions that you have built or have access to here. You'll see some different navigational elements up top to navigate through them, as well as over here on the side, different folders essentially of the questions you've built. But that said, if you want to start building questions, what I usually recommend is that you start by first building a quiz that you then want to populate with quiz questions. It's kind of a logical way to start building in Adapt. But again, just keep in mind that once you build a question, while a quiz will certainly use it, that question will actually live in a folder somewhere. So let me go back to the My Courses screen, and we're going to just pretend we're getting started fresh here. So I'm actually going to click New Course to create a brand new course. Now, to start things off, you'll see there's a number of options here. One thing to be aware of is that Adapt has a large number of settings that are available in it, which makes it very versatile, but it can feel a little overwhelming when you first go in with all the settings that are available. I would say that just keep in mind that you do not need to worry about all of the settings. A lot of these may not be as applicable to you as they may be to other people. So I'll talk through a few of them, though, that are good to be aware of. First and foremost, we have a school, and it says choose a school. If you click on this, you'll see a very large list of institutions that are pre-populated in Adapt. Now, if your school is already associated with the Adapt platform, you could just start typing the name of your school, and it will start to autocomplete what's in the database, and you could choose your school. If your school is not in there, that is something that your administrators could get connected at some point. This becomes, it's not critical for you to have your school in there from the get-go if you want to start, testing Adapt. Where this really becomes important is when you have the Adapt LTI connected to your LMS. So if you want Adapt to pipe into Blackboard or to Canvas, then the indication of your school becomes important. So that's just something to bear in mind. You can still use it even if your school is not listed here. It's just when you want to use the LTI, that's when this really becomes a critical component. Next up, course name. So you'll just want to give your course a name. In this case, I'll just call this Dominic Sandbox. Okay. Public description. This would be a description of the course that students would see or others who are accessing your course would see. So if you are so inclined, you can populate that. It's not required. Private description. This would be a description that only you will see. So if you want to give some more context to your course, but just have it be a private note for yourself, you could do so here. Textbook URL, if there is a particular textbook associated with this course, you could provide that URL here. Section, it does ask that you give a section to your course. This is entirely up to you. This is information that just sits in the back of ADAPT to help identify the students and the information that's collected. So it's completely up to you what you choose to put in here. CRN, likewise, this is something that you can determine. If you are going to use ADAPT with a particular course that you're teaching at your institution, then it does make sense that you would populate this information to mimic what is in your LMS just for the sake of organizational purposes. But you can also just put whatever values in there that you want if you just want to start testing in it. Term, kind of the same thing. You can indicate a term in here. So maybe I'll say, so here it says 2023, and we'll say this is the first quarter or semester. So I might do something like that. Start date and end date, you do need to specify these. They are required. If I just want to start working in the platform today and just testing it, I'll just indicate today is the start date. And then maybe I'll say, what I'll do a year from now as the end date. Oh, actually, I can't do that. There we go. We'll do that. Okay. Public. So this is where you indicate whether or not you want this course to be publicly visible for others to view. So if you are building this course as a means to share with your peers, share with other faculty, you may turn this on. This is also a means to allow others to access the course beyond just those learners that you invite to access the course. And you can change the setting at a later time if need be. Anonymous users, if you want to allow for anonymous contributions by learners to your course, this is an option that's available. Alpha, you don't need to worry about this setting. You can leave it as its default. And then LMS. Again, this becomes more relevant if your institution does connect ADAPT via the LTI to your LMS. That's when this becomes relevant. So with that information filled in, I'll click on Save. And now I have my Sandbox course ready to start building. One last thing I'll point out here is over here on the right, you do have a few additional settings. You got a shortcut to the gradebook if you want to see who has taken part in your course and what progress they've made. The gear is to access the same properties that we just looked at. The clone is kind of self-explanatory if you want to make a copy, of course, and of course the option to delete your course. So those are the basics of the course navigation and how to build a course. And next, in the next video, I'll go into how to actually start building your first quiz.